GoPro CEO Nick Woodman calls this a gimbal killer. What is this new gimbal killing product, you may ask? Well, it's GoPro's brand new flagship camera called the GoPro Hero 7 Black. And surprisingly, it's actually black. What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the series GzT Tech, where we talk about tech that either I'm interested in or tech that we think that you should check out. And today we have just that. This is going to be part one of many little episodes talking about the new GoPro Hero 7 Black and going over all the new features it has to offer. Today we're going to go over the unboxing and brand new way to navigate through the menu system. Without further ado, let's dive in. Alright, well, let's get into the unboxing here. Here is the brand new box for the GoPro Hero 7 Black. And as you can see, they really advertise the gimbal-like hyper-smooth capability of this new GoPro. We get the same specs here on the side, 12 megapixel, 4K at 60. We have the water depth, the slow-mo, GPS, HDR capabilities, and live streaming, just to name a few on here. Now on the back, it just shows how you can link up with the app, available both for iOS and Android. And on this side, we get everything that is going to be inside the box. And another new thing is that it's made for iOS devices, and the linking should be quick, so we'll see that in just a bit. We'll start by opening up the box by ripping away this blue little label. Here we get this little box. Let's see what we get in here. As you can see, taking it apart, we get the GoPro attached to this box, and shows exactly how to take it out. So it's actually really black. I'm actually surprised that it's black, to be honest. But we'll go ahead by taking this rubber piece away and taking the GoPro out of this. And we also have this remove thing that you can take out by unscrewing the screw of the GoPro mount, and it'll come right off. But let's set this to the side and take a look at exactly what we get in the box. Start off with this GoPro paperwork, which shows exactly how to charge it and how to mount stuff, and the GoPro Plus information on the back in case you need it. The amazing black GoPro stickers, which I really dig. And GoPro is now an author of a book, many different languages, just talks about product information. So go ahead and read that. Getting into the guts of the box, we get the essential GoPro stuff necessary to get us started. A battery, two of these mounts, a flat mount and a curved mount, and a USB 3.0 Type A to Type C connector. And by the way, don't throw this black piece away. I know some of you throw this away, but you may want to keep that because you can actually use that to mount stuff too. But two mounts, paperwork, the USB cable, 3.0, so fast data transfer speeds, and the battery. These are the essentials that we get. Now this battery is exactly the same as the GoPro Hero 6, so if you have any spares of those, it'll definitely work. Same milliamp hour, nothing new. Upon taking the GoPro out of its cage, which also has black 7 labeled on the side of it, which I personally like, that little added touch, also has it labeled on the GoPro on the same side, so you can't mix. Now the feel of this is really great, and my Hero 6, actually the GoPro logo is very colorful, but not on this one, I guess. Now let's take this battery and go ahead and pop it into the GoPro, and right next to it is where the memory card fits in also. GoPro is still the same form factor as the Hero 6, nothing has really changed. But upon turning it on, we see it come to life for the first time, and we're greeted with the GoPro Black 7 logo. And it's going to take us through the setup screen, which we'll go through. English, of course, legal stuff, we're gonna agree to this. We definitely want GPS enabled. And it shows you how to work stuff and do stuff on the app, which I'm going to go ahead and add the camera. And you see how quick it found my GoPro. That was the made for iPhone. That's how quick it is. Bluetooth pairing. Once that completes, we should be good to go. And one of the biggest things is that we can now change the name of our GoPro. Finally, this has been a long time coming, which I will gladly do. Once you go ahead and click OK, it'll go ahead and start saving everything and get you ready to go. Now, there was a camera update available at the time of doing this video, which had some very important things such as live streaming, the hyper smooth capability for the 4K 60 frames per second. So we went ahead and did the camera update. Make sure you have a battery that's at least above 50%. I went ahead and used another spare battery that was at 100%. So once you get her done, you'll get a check on your GoPro and you hit done. Your GoPro 7 is ready to go. Now we're going to take a closer look at this. As you can see, the Black 7. I also want to mention that you can open up these sides and you have access to 2 of these ports, one for the HDMI, one for the charging USB and data transfer. You can also take this piece off if you need to, but just keep in mind that it won't be waterproof then. And it's really easy to put right back on too. Now the GoPro has 3 modes: photo, video, and time-lapse. We're going to go ahead and dive into time-lapse. And clicking on the far left button, we see time warp video, time-lapse photo, and night-lapse video. We're going to go ahead and click on time warp video just for example. And clicking on the center, we can see the 3 options that appear. Now the first things first, you want to make sure that you know which aspect ratio you're going to shoot in, because based on that, your resolutions and frame rates will be changing. 4:3 is really good for things such as like selfie modes and just for that type of stuff. It looks great. 16:9 is more of the cinematic stuff. Now the time warp speed is, as you can see on the left, it gives you some tips of how many seconds you'll get what of. I shot a test video of it and it worked great, so just play with these settings, see what works best for you, but it's there. But again, definitely keep in mind of the aspect ratio. Now if we switch over to video, this is where a lot of things are great too. If we click on this left button, you see 15 seconds and 30 seconds. Now GoPro has made the thing where you don't need to waste extra memory on your device. You can just set it to 15 or 30 and it'll capture exactly for that many seconds, so you get just the action and not something else that you don't want. Diving into the settings, we see more stuff. Here we can change resolutions and stuff, but again, you really want to keep in mind for the aspect ratio, because if you, as you can see, changing it, some of these will have hyper smooth stabilization and for certain things it won't. So depending on what you're looking for, you really want to see what works, what doesn't work for you. Now I'm going to switch over to 4K. I'm going to change mine to 60 because I was curious to see if Hypersmooth is available, and it is, so that works perfectly. Next thing that we're going to check out is low light. Low light we're going to leave off. We usually shoot in pretty good light. Field of view, self-explanatory. And Pro Tune, I usually put that on, but I'm going to leave it off just for now. And then we can also turn auto stabilization on or off, so we can control that. Now we'll switch over to photo, where a lot of things has changed, and I can't wait to show you some of these. One of them being you can now take a photo in portrait mode, just like this. So you can turn the GoPro to the side and be able to take a photo, and it'll automatically change back to landscape as soon as it detects that you've put it back upright. Now here on the right we get a plus icon, which is called touch zoom, which means we can zoom into our image if we needed to by tapping on it and being able to move the slider up and down. Pretty good if you need that for any application. Now here on the left we have a little clock, which is a photo timer. I don't know why they incorporated this, but I'm glad they did. I mean, we have voice commands to be able to take photos, but for people that need it, we have a 3-second and a 10-second timer, so it's awesome. Now down here we have photo, burst, and night, all the different options. Switching over to photo, for example, is where a lot of this great stuff comes in, where the super photos, what GoPro calls it, comes in. and something that I've been really excited to check out. Going into field of view, we also have linear. We can just keep the horizon straight, and wide is the natural fisheye that GoPro has. Now super photo is again where it's the newest feature where you can turn HDR on or leave it on auto depending on how much you're going to take photos with, or if you don't want to have it take a super photo every time, you can turn it off. But I'm actually going to leave it on HDR and show you an example here in a bit. But you also have the capability of taking a raw photo and then manipulating it in Photoshop or another editor of your choice. So there's also Pro Tune in this. Pretty simple. Here's a shot of my dog in HDR in the portrait mode, untouched, unedited. And here's another photo of him in landscape. This is an HDR, again, untouched photo. I was blown away by the quality that came out of this camera. Again, these are the three modes in this camera, and if you slide down from the top, you get the necessary information that you need. And I'm not really going to go deep because this video is already very long enough, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You can go into preference. I'll go show a very few things that I think are important to know. The Wi-Fi, you can switch the band right there. And if we go back, we can see the video compression, which we can either do high efficiency video codec, which is H.265, or we can have the compatibility of the H.264, whichever works for yours. And the landscape, we can also toggle on or off, so it doesn't always switch on you. But that's basically it. This menu system is really better than the Hero 6 and 5, and I feel that I'd be able to quickly use this more. This has been the unboxing and the step-by-step walkthrough of the new GoPro interface, and there are still a lot more videos to come, as I've said earlier on. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe, like this video, and make sure you play Doorbell Ditch with the bell so you stay up to date with when the new videos get launched. Until the next video, this has been GzT Tech, and we'll see you in the next one.